have great taste, especially with your radio choice. Thank you for spending a little time with Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.
Kane Brown, Miles on it. Kiss Country 93.7 is Shreveport Bossier's number one for new country. Hey, are you keeping up with this Hurricane Milton? Grew into a category storm yesterday, just 2 days after it developed in the Gulf of Mexico. Forecasters are predicting it'll make landfall on Florida's western Gulf Coast as a major hurricane, probably about Wednesday of this week. They say it could hit in the Tampa Bay area and remain a hurricane as it moves all the way across central Florida into the Atlantic Ocean. Now, they say that it would largely spare the other states that were hit so tragically by Hurricane Helene. But indeed, it's going to be in a much more populated area, so it could be a whole lot nastier for people in Florida. Maximum sustained winds right now, about 100 miles an hour. They say that it could cause major problems in some areas and a storm surge. Of course, we're still praying for those people as they're recovering from Hurricane Helene and now this. And obviously, we'll keep you posted as we get more info. Just keep us locked in and on the website as well, mykisscountry937.com and your Kiss Country app. Kiss Country 93.7. Good morning. It's Gary in Bristol. You know, we have a Kiss Cash cow around here. Her name is Bessie. First chance to milk her for possibly up to $30,000. Coming up this morning, 8:20. That's when we're going to give you your first Kiss Cash Cow code of the day. Be listening for that one. And if you hadn't downloaded the Kiss Country app, get that done. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned a little while ago, kids in DeSoto Parish, Caddo, Bossier for sure, all out of school this week for the fall break. And normally during that week is when they hold the special Louisiana Youth Deer Season here for Area 2. However, it's kind of off this week, and I don't know who changed. I don't know if it was the state of Louisiana or if it was, our local parishes when they changed the week of the break. At any rate, that special Youth Deer Week isn't going on right now. It won't start until this Saturday, but it'll go from this Saturday, October the 12th, through October the 18th, which is the following Friday. And there's some special rules and stuff you need to know because not only does it apply to youth, but also to honorably discharged veterans. And they get this week essentially to themselves. Now, there's also archers, bow hunters that are out there. But for them, there's a number of things that you need to know if you've got a youngster that's wanting to deer hunt starting this Saturday. All that info in your Kiss Country app. Take a look. Just you don't want to find out, from the game warden that you're doing it wrong.
Making that ride to work fun. Come on now, Junior, take a wild ride. It's Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.
That's Chris Jansen. It's Good Vibes. Kiss Country 93.7. Good morning. We're Gary and Bristol, and traffic rules are going to change Thursday, especially if you live in South Bossier or travel into that area. Westbound lane of the Jimmy Davis Bridge, that's Highway 511 over the Red River, going to be closed. Now, that's just that night. This Thursday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Contractor there is doing some work on the Jimmy Davis Bridge, trying to get ready for the new one that's coming. And because of that, from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Thursday, you're going to need to find another way. Now, yes, the bridge will remain open. They're going to have flaggers there that'll get you through. But in all likelihood, for that traffic that's in that area, it's going to be a slow go. So if you can find another way, do that. All the info in your Kiss Country app.
Thanks for spending your morning with us. It's Gary and Bristol on Shreveport Bossier's number one for new country. Kiss Country 93.7.
Kiss Country 93.7. Lee Bryce. The story of my life. Hard to love.
Aw, that's not true.
We are Gary and Bristol. No, it is true. When you're a butthead, you're a butthead. I mean, and if you weren't a butthead when you were young, just keep saying good morning. When you've stacked enough of those good mornings on top of each other, you just automatically qualify. You are now a butthead. You get into
grouchy old man territory with low T. You're just like, ah.
So that's where we are. All right, it is ticket trivia time. 4-pack of passes for you and the whole family to go to Piney Park, the big fall festival in Marshall.
Okay, if you missed the answer to Friday's ticket trivia, here it is. Over a third of all people say that they add this to their coffee in the morning. What is it? Holy cow, I was out on Friday. Alcohol?
Yes,
Over
alcohol.
a third of all people?
Couldn't believe it. No, it's not creamer. No, it's not all the other stuff that we got.
Well, I know
Booze.
it's not you, and I know it's not me.
Yeah.
I
blame Crystal.
Okay. That's crazy. Wow. Okay.
All right, today's question. This household item contains an average of 10 million germs. This is scary.
Ew.
What is it? This household item contains an average of 10 million germs. What is that thing? 725-5477, 725-KISS. KISS Country 93.7 is Shreveport Bossier's number one for new country. We're Gary and Bristol, the KISS Cash Cow, ready to give out some money this morning, up to $30,000. First cash cow code at 8:20. And wasn't it a cow? A little calf? Wasn't that the first thing they ever cloned?
I don't remember.
It's been a number of years ago, but
It
apparently
was something of that.
they're making enough advancements in cloning now that they just did this huge poll. Ask people, if you had the opportunity to clone yourself, would you do that? 7%, that's all. 7% said, yeah, I'd do that. 11% said, yeah, probably. So there's an 18% that are either definitely or probably. 21% said they probably would not, and 49% said definitely not. So that's 70% that are leaning negatively.
I mean, it depends on if you're looking at it as a fun, oh my gosh, yeah, if there is two of us, I could get everything done and then go have fun. Then there are the people who go, hold up, wait a minute. Where does life begin?
I don't know.
If you clone someone, it's not really the exact same person because that's a different spirit.
Exactly. We all have a different soul.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, if they could clone me, why first? Why would they do that? Well,
Okay.
we had enough of trouble with the first one. Why in the world do we want two?
And, there was a company in Texas that was doing this. It's probably been 5-10 years ago. I remember seeing this story. They would clone your favorite pet for $25,000. So if you wanted to clone your dog, you're like, that's your best dog ever. It's still not the same dog. Does that make sense?
I just think that, you're messing with God business when you do that.
Yeah, it's a little creepy.
Yeah. And even though he might look like me, he might talk like me,
Yeah.
he might be as big a butthead as me. That's not
you.
really me.
I mean, it's not all the experience and
Exactly. And 'cause
yeah.
I think that in a lot of cases, that's what takes you to where you are. All those bad days led you to the good day where you
Right.
are now.
Well, I've always heard it as the bucket theory of life. Everybody you bump into contributes to your bucket.
Mm-hmm. In some capacity.
Yeah.
So what about you? If they could clone you, would you do that? 725-5477. I mean, and if you, and it's not just because, the clone could go to work for you today while you go to, Cozumel.
Yeah, but by the time you could afford to buy a clone or have yourself cloned, we got accelerated growth here? What?
725-5477. Would you do it if you could? 725-KISS.
Spending a morning without Gary and Bristol is like having a birthday without cake. Today's not the day for that. KISS Country 93.7.
Saw the rising sun, coffee in my cup.
They put the good in morning. It's Gary and Bristol on KISS Country 93.7.
That's Luke Bryan, one margarita, KISS Country 93.7, Gary and Bristol. Got your first KISS Cash Cow code of the day coming up here at 8:20. Chance to win $30,000. I just love that.
How much Halloween candy you could buy.
Okay, you got 30 grand. You can only buy one kind of Halloween candy. What are you buying?
Reese cups.
Okay, thank you.
Dude.
That's why we're friends.
I mean,
do you know in the state of Louisiana?
We align on the major policy issues.
In the state of Louisiana, again this year, they used 17 years of data.
Was it Sweet Tarts or something again?
Lemon Heads.
I don't get that study.
Number one Halloween candy in the state of Louisiana. We got the article on the website.
Who's buying the lemon heads?
I don't know. I mean, did all the Snickers melt? What's the deal? Some other stats for you for Halloween.
Really?
It's $12.2 billion a year business, Halloween candy
It's
alone.
insane to me.
69% of adults plan to buy Halloween candy. 67% of parents will buy extra candy just in case they need it and then secretly stash it away for themselves.
Oh, okay. So they're including the rationalization in
Guilty.
the poll. I love it.
58% will decorate their house in some way, even if it's just a pumpkin on the porch. 60% of people said that they actually enjoy pumpkin carving.
Yeah.
I enjoy taking the pumpkins that have been carved and taking them out back of our place and shooting them.
Target practice.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I mean, pumpkin everywhere. 47% of adults say they like to dress up in costume for their own enjoyment. Okay, if you were going to a costume contest tomorrow, who's Bristol going to be?
Oh my gosh, because I'm trying to embrace the gray. I'm probably going to go with an Elvira or who was the Disney villain with the
Cruella?
Cruella de Vil.
With the Dalmatians? Yeah, I can see that. 77% of adults say they do feel some sort of nostalgia about trick-or-treating from back when they were a kid.
Oh my gosh, we owned Dogwood Park. That was the best place to go trick-or-treating.
My dad was the hit because back when I was a kid, we had moved from Blanchard into Cherokee Park. Mm-hmm. And my dad would dress up as Dracula.
Yeah.
And he would lay on a recliner and they would put this big sheet over him and the Halloween bowl would be in his belly and the kids had to come inside and get the candy out of the bowl. And of course, he'd raise up and scare everybody. They even talked about our house on the radio one day. I mean, it was the hit,
You tried to do that now, and oh my gosh, the cops would be at your house so fast.
It was, he was trying to, perverted form of some type of stuff, with children.
Oh, I know. They invited those trick-or-treaters into their house.
Yes. So if indeed you are into Halloween, rest assured you're not alone. 40% of the people in the poll said Halloween is their favorite holiday. It's not a holiday. Holiday is when you get the day off and the bank's closed. There's no mail.
Okay.
That's a holiday.
So it has to be a federal holiday.
No.
To be considered a holiday in your book.
Well, no. I mean, you think about it. In what capacity has Halloween been deemed a holiday? Never. It's a special
on the holiday
occasion.
Calendar.
It ain't a holiday if you have to work. Period.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
We need more cowbell. It's time for another Kiss Cash Cow Code.
Hey, you went up to $30,000. You can get all the cowbell you want. First code of the day, 625. Got it? 625. Put that in your Kiss Country app. Could win you up to $30,000 from Greg Tilley's Manufactured Housing. Next code at 9:20. Be listening for it and open up your Kiss Country app.
They're like a Band-Aid for all of life's bobos. It's Gary and Bristol only on Kiss Country 93.7.
Dan and Shay, Bigger Houses, Kiss Country 93.7. It's Gary and Bristol. Okay, Justin Moore's song, what's he called? This Is My Dirt.
Yeah.
In that, he says, hey, look, this ground has been in my family forever. I don't want to sell this. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't give it, because of all the special memories that are attached to it and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, you know what? In most of our lives, there's something you would never sell.
Oh my gosh, there are so many different things that hold significance to me. But when it comes down to that, maybe an heirloom, my father's watch
Yeah.
or, pictures and your family Bible. I mean, there are just some things you would not part with for love nor money.
I never even thought about the family Bible.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I don't even know. My grandmother, she had, like all the recorded births and stuff in there. And then when those kids were baptized and things like that. And I don't know which one of my aunts or uncles who wound up with that Bible.
I've got that. I've got like the yearbooks. I mean, and then like I know there are some very, some portraits, and I hope to be able to be the one to pass those down and along.
And the sad part is for a lot of people, most of that wouldn't be worth anything, but it's worth a mint to you.
Oh, I would never part with it.
So tomorrow we want to find out, what's something that you've got that you would never sell in a million years. And it might be your dirt. It might be that land that you inherited from your great grandfather or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
But what you got that you would never sell. We'll find out bright and early tomorrow morning. Don't forget at 7:15 with Ticket Trivia. More passes to Piney Park, the big fall festival going on.
911, what's your emergency?
It's Gary in Bristol. If you're not having fun yet, you might need someone to call 911 for you. Kiss Country 93.7.